So now, I'm not going to keep reading out this Bible. I just want to let you know that when brothers come, them brothers in the churches, now y'all know this is black light, don't you? Them brothers in them churches and sisters in the mosques and temple, you know, they ain't really deep into what they believe or what they want to deal with. They pretending, you know, because y'all know that y'all committing a sin, you know. In the Bible, it tell you it gives you a diet, you know, how to eat, but yet still y'all allow people to sell swine and other animals you're supposed to be a Christian nation, you know. You allow pornography, you allow same-sex marriage, everything that the Bible is against, y'all allow. And if y'all go to the polls and vote, why ain't the Bible being implemented, or the will of God, you know, being implemented, or being adhered to when you go to the polls and vote? It's the opposite, man. Everything is the opposite. So what Trump is doing is he getting ready to make America great again, and he gonna say these criminal elements coming into America. He right. The only one want to come into America is a criminal, because America's thoroughly corrupt, and the only ones want to come in here is the one that is of corruption. And so he already got criminal elements here because everybody bowing down to the main crook. So he right, and he don't want them so-called Muslims here because they crooked. But what he feared more than anything about the Muslims is Sharia law. You don't charge interest. They don't charge interest on the money. Gaddafi was the perfect example of what Islam really is. He had free housing, free medical care. He was building oasis in the desert, water up under the desert, growing crops. So that's why they took him out. He was too good of an example. Now they just waited till the Honorable Elijah Muhammad died, because they know that these people will fall apart. There wasn't enough real brothers in there to keep it together, real brothers and sisters in there to keep it together, because they were so busy worshiping Elijah. You know, they was worshiping Elijah. When you go to school, when you was going to your schools, grade school, elementary schools, did you worship your teachers? Did you, or was you just going to class just to get a grade so you could get out of there? You know, the teachers here in America, they don't care if you doing good or not. They just want you to come to school and be quiet, and you could be flunking, don't know what you're doing, but they'll pass you just to get rid of you, move you on out the system, because they know you ain't gonna go to college. And those who do go to college, they really don't know how to be taught and how to learn, because you're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to have a dialogue with your instructor, your teacher. You're supposed to have a conversation. That's the way you learn. And that's the way we learned back in the day. We was in a circle, and the instructor would give us a topic, and we would play off that topic. You know. And but here, you know, the children don't. The teachers say, you know, so and so is this way and that way. Y'all don't ask questions. I know when I went to school, I asked my teacher, where did the term mathematics come from? Who invented that term? He jumped all down my throat. You know. I say, well, I like to know the whole thing about mathematics. I like to know the history. How did these symbols come about? Who thought of these symbols? Who thought of the plus sign, the multiplication sign, the division sign? I would like to know when did they start calculating numbers, using numbers. I found out that later on, not from the school system, but from some black nationalist brothers and learned pro-black brothers and what you call them, the conscious community, that math, the word math, comes from the word mayat. The word chemistry comes from chemet. And numbers were once letters. They used numbers as letters. And you got the Roman numbers, and then you got the Arabic numbers. I found out that Arabic and Hebrew was a so-called African word, a language rather. Latin, we invented all those languages. Latin and all these languages is in English. I learned from some linguistics, some brothers, you know, that were studying linguistics. And I found out that we were over here in America when Elijah, in the Supreme Wisdom, that he used the word Indian, you know, because black people were all over the planet. And some of the brothers that were living here in America did come from England, came over here. But we were already on the planet, all over the planet, for millions of years. So, you know, Elijah had something important, a blueprint for us to follow. But now the Caucasian done peeped that. He didn't peep that, you know. So now we're going to have to tweak the blueprint that Elijah brought to us. We can't do it the same way no more, brothers. You know, y'all still teaching and doing the same way, and you got to recognize that it was a flaw. He still could get to it. You know, but we had a strong leader. We had a strong teacher. You know, that was very wise, and he had to die before the devil's plan could be implemented in its entirety. Now he done infiltrated all through the Nation of Islam and all through the church, everywhere, and he's implementing his program. And our people again are hypnotized, you know. But instead of And so what they doing, these brothers that they got talking against each other and against the teachings, they got to be agents, man, because they're trying to eradicate all those teachers that we had: Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, and others. And he's doing an effective job. So when he and put this martial law into, national emergency into effect, if we don't counter that, we only have to resort to violence, protecting ourselves. And you're not organized. You're not ready for this. So he is counting on you to go, when he cut the money supply and the utility, all the all the water. When he gonna start cutting all that, the food supply. He counting on you just to go crazy. Cause you got a bunch of dope fiends in the hood, junkies and dope fiends, sex perverts, sex fiends. That's like a drug too. And other kind of fiends. I mean, we could go on and on. How many regular people you got, or righteous people do you got? Not that many. They so weak they could be bought off in a heartbeat. So you're going to be killing up each other, trying to keep the dope fiends out your house, sex fiends out your house, perverts and whatever. Sex trafficking is going to be on the all-time high, because the rich and famous, they're going to be on the wild too. So you got to start strengthening yourself now. I can't tell it all in these episodes, but we're going to come back and play some of that King Alpha Plan and Jim Jones. We're going to keep it going. We're going to play it all the way out to the end. This is Black Light.